Hello everyone. Under the PESTLE analysis, we are done with the political environment, social and technological environment. In today's class, we will study about the legal environment. Firms operating internationally face major challenges in conforming to the different laws, regulations and legal systems in different countries. So, in different countries, there are different legal systems. The companies should understand it properly so that only they can manage their risk properly. The legal framework to protect the small and medium enterprises, mainly to achieve the social objectives, adversely influence and the expansions of manufacturing capacities and achieving the economies of scale in the certain countries. So SMEs should be protected in any of the country. To protect those SMEs, many countries will put the restrictions like quotas and the tariffs and all. Okay, tariffs and non-tariff barriers we have already studied. So that restrictions will be there. Fine. So we should understand those restrictions and the legal frameworks of that particular country as an international business. Before entering into that particular economy, we have to understand it very clearly. International managers need to develop the basic understanding of the types of legal systems followed in the countries of their operations before entering into the legal contracts. So before entering into the any legal contracts, that should be clearly understood. So let's understand what are the legal systems in the international business. One, the common law. It is based on the traditions, past practices and the legal precedents set by the court through interpretations of statutes, legal legislations and past rulings. It depends less on writing statutes and courts. Common law originated from England and it is followed in most of the former British colonies such as India, UK, US, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. So as you know, the common law is uh, based on the traditions, past practices, legal proceedings and by the interpretation of the statutes and legal legislations and the past rulings. You know, the Indian law is also influenced by the British laws and all, right? So this is what called as the common laws. The civil law is a little bit different, also known as the Code of Civil Law. It is based on the comprehensive set of the written statutes. It is derived from the Roman law and is followed in most of the continental Europe, Japan and Latin America. The elaborated legislative codes embody the main rules of the law, spelling out every circumstances. So this type of the law will focus on each and every circumstances and the main law is also specified under the civil laws. Theocratic law. Theocratic law is the legal system based on the religious doctrine. On the basis of the religion, these laws are formed. Precepts and the beliefs. For instance, the Hebrew law and the Islamic law. Okay, Hebrew law is of the a law of one particular religion, and the Islamic law, as you know, the Islamic countries will follow this particular law, are derived from the religious doctrines and their scholarly interpretations. Unlike the countries dominated by Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism, where either a common or civil law is followed, a large number of Islamic countries integrate their legal system based on the Sharia. So, what is Sharia? We'll get to know. The legal system in number of the Islamic countries, including Saudi Arabia and Iran, is integrated with Sharia. In Arabic, Sharia means the clear, well-trodden path to water. In Islam, Sharia is used to refer the matters of religion that God has legislated for His servants. Okay, so Sharia is nothing but the religion matters which the God is legislated for His servants. Sharia is a canonical law derived from the combination of sources such as the Quran, the Holy Book of Islam, and Sunnah, teachings and practices of the Prophet Muhammad, and the rulings of the Islamic scholars. So, theocratical law, if you observe the Arabian countries and all, you can understand what type of the law it is. For the more study regarding this particular aspect, you can go for this particular website which is mentioned in this particular PPT. So https colon double slash www.yourarticlelibrary.com slash then after the international trade, legal environment and traditional businesses. So this is what the link. You can study more information there. Now we'll go for the economic environment. So there are totally 5 environments: political economical, social and cultural, technological and legal environments, and the economic environment is the second one. Okay, so this one we are going to study at the end, since we are going to consider all the aspects under this particular concept. All the above environment comes under the economic environment, since economic condition is influenced or affected by all the four forces. Okay, the above four forces, what are they? So everything will be affected the economic environment. So here is the dimensions of the economic environment. Income wise classifications. So these classifications are given by OECD, UNO, World Bank and all. Okay, they have classified the countries into four types. Lower income countries, which is having $995 or lesser per capita income. Lower middle income countries, which is having $996 to $3945 per capita income. Upper middle income countries $3946 to $12195 per capita income, and high income countries are more than $12,195 per capita income. So when we are observing the economic conditions or economic environment, we have to see what type of the country it is, whether it's a lower income country or upper middle income country or high income country and all. It is helpful to observe the situations of that economy and the expectations of the consumers. Then economic system, market economy is followed in some of the countries, that is the capitalism, where the people are working or the businesses are running for the profit, and the command economy, socialism, irrespective of the profit, the businesses are running to serve the people or the society, and mixed economy, which is a combination of these two, which is existed in the countries like India. Then region wise classifications, if you observe the world map, you can get to know this. East Asia Pacific is there, Europe and Central Asia is there, Latin America and Caribbean is there. So this is what the region wise classifications. We can classify the whole world as the three types, where in this region the nature, the seasons and the taste and preferences and the market condition, these all things will differ, so that the international business should understand these all aspects too. Economic scenario. So in the economy there are a lot of aspects which will affect or decide the growth, right? So it is growth rate, it may be the inflation, savings and investments, fiscal stabilities. What is fiscal policies? Fiscal policies is unlike the budgeting. Budgeting will tell for what, how much is the expenditure, but fiscal policy says about the expenditure for what, how much, and from where we are going to raise these funds. Okay, and in the fiscal policies, when our revenue is lesser and expenses are more, at that time there will be chances of the debits or else the loans, correct? So in that cases, suppose continuously in our fiscal policies, if we are raising the loans, so we can say it as it is a negatively stable. Okay, so if our revenues are more and expenses are less, then it is a positively stable, right? So sometimes if we are raising the funds, sometimes our income is more than the expenses, we have the surplus. So in this case the fiscal stability is not there, it is called as the fiscal instability, right? And about the balance of payment, as you know, if there is a positive balance of payment or the surplus balance of payment, the particular market is good to invest. If there is a negative, then that particular market may not be good to invest. Okay, and these all things are left to the viewpoint of the investors as well. Then financial systems, this is regarding the financial system of that particular country, how the money markets will work and how the capital market will work, what are the legal aspects and who are controlling these all things also matters. The international business should understand that one as well. Then structural adjustments. So the structural or the basic adjustments in the economy is also matters. The biggest one is the LPG policy in India, as you know, in the year 1991, right? The FERA, FEMA, these all are the structural policies. Okay, about the FERA and FEMA we are going to study in coming units. Then economies in transitions. how the economy is changing. So one, the fast developing countries we can say, and another one is market friendly economies. So this is what the classifications. And fast developing countries, as you know, when there is a fast developing countries, obviously they are developing and they have the improving or developing market. There will be a more demand, inflation will be less, the employment opportunity will be there, the resources are available. So that is good to invest. And sometimes there is a market friendly economy which is like untapped markets where we can observe in the developing countries, right? So what type of the economy it is, that also should be observed from the international business before entering into that particular economy. For example, if we are comparing the Indian market, difficulty in planning is because of the diversity. There is a diversity, so that's why we cannot plan everything which is suitable for each and every aspect which is different. Geographical and cultural environment is different from region to region, so that's why one plan may not be suitable for another region. And standard of living is different in the country where the poverty is day by day increasing, unemployment is day by day increasing, and nowadays the situation is little bit better, but even though the poverty is still there and the unemployment problem is not yet solved. Okay, and in other hand, when we observe the Chinese economy, where there is a social welfare, equality is also there, and the same culture is there. Okay, the huge opportunity for outsourcing is there in the Chinese market, and even in India it is there because the labor of India is cheaper. Okay, and fastest growing economies, these both are India and China. As you know, in year 2017, I guess the India is treated as the fastest growing economy, and after the COVID, as you know, the China is announced as the country where there is no poverty. Then centralized planning in China, it can be observed. Okay, so if these all aspects or these all features are there, then we can treat that economy's investors as the risk takers. Okay, so these all aspects should be studied properly from the international business before going for or before entering into any of the international economy or international market. So if these aspects are not properly observed, that will be riskier for the organizations, and they may not control or they may not manage the risk, and there is a fear of closing down of the businesses as well. So that's it about the Presley analysis. If there is any confusions, you can ask in the Google Classroom.